Hey, welcome back to Creatives in the Spotlight. I'm the show's host, Paul Hurley. Today I've got director, writer, actor, Batman, Ronald Rossmann here today. We're going to talk a little bit about, our new film, You're It.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when did you write that?
So we wrote it. I wrote it. When we get done filming, it was last year, right?
Oh, yeah, last
So
year,
it's now
June.
been. We had the first casting call was. I mean, the first cast meeting was January. So I think I started writing it in November of 2023. I think that's right.
Okay.
Because we had the first cast thing at January of 2024. So, and it's funny because it came from an idea. We had just done Rescue together, and I was trying to come up with the next film. And originally we were going to do another short for the Book of Fate, and I really wanted to do a feature.
Right.
But I had a couple ideas, but the budget would have been way too high. So I was talking to Greg Bo Watson, our executive producer, and we were talking about the movies that made us, that Netflix series.
Right.
And that particular episode we had watched was the Halloween episode. I said, Greg Bo, why don't they make horror films like they did back there? Where it's just basically eggs and steak, eggs and potatoes. The thing about John Carpenter's Halloween, it was just basic, but the characters were cool. You were engaging with it. It wasn't gore porn. It was just kind of scary, kind of really well told story. And he goes, we should make a movie like that. And I'm not a slasher fan at all. And so we started coming up with the idea, and then we came up with the killer. Because it's so hard to come up with a new killer. You know that we were talking.
Oh, yeah.
Because we even in the film within the film is like the boar head guy, and like everyone had. It's funny because that was the original idea, was of a boar head guy, and literally when I decided on that, I saw like 7 movies on my menu, my Amazon menu, with like pig's head guys. So I'm like, let's make that the movie within a movie to kind of make fun of the 80s thing. But we came up with this really cool killer, and it hadn't been done before. I've never seen it done before. And as long as, like Greg was saying, as long as we kept the theme of why the killer looks like the way he does, we would be successful. And so I think we did that. We successfully did that because we had, there's a couple comparisons that I'd like to make as to what we were afraid of. But I can't because it'll spoil the killer. But there were some comparisons we were afraid of. And then I think you and I talked originally, he was more of a Saw-like villain. And we took that out to make it more of a traditional, he's just a serial killer. Is he supernatural? Is he real? That kind of thing. So I think it worked out really well. So,
Yeah.
But it took me 3 months to write. It was not a long write from scratch.
So it took you 3 months to write it.
Mm-hmm.
It took us 6 months to film it.
Right.
Another 3 months to edit it.
Yeah.
That's a year.
Yeah. And then we had the film premiere in February, which went really well. We filled 2 theaters, a standing room only. And then the California fires happened, and a couple other things happened. So we weren't able to get the film to distribution on time. And so we ended up having to do the August, which is today, the August release date. So, and we still have some channels that, in a couple weeks, we're hoping they'll be in Fandango and Disney Plus, God forbid, on Apple Plus.
It's not a Disney movie, folks.
No,
I promise.
And then we've got Tubi on the 22nd. So we're going to have it on a lot of channels. Right now it's on Amazon Prime Video and Fossum, which you can watch at Fossum with commercials. Amazon Prime, you could buy it without the commercials or own the film. So yeah, it's been a trek. It's been a trek. Yeah. So,
but you mentioned Greg Bo. Now, Greg Bo does a lot of artwork.
Yeah. So Greg Bo is a former Marvel artist. He also worked for Zenescope Comics. Did a lot of their kind of horror pinup comics. He's done work for 20th Century Fox Television when they did they were doing the reruns of the X-Files.
Okay.
And so they did an animated kind of a lead-in or promotion. He did all the artwork for that.
Wow. I didn't know.
And then he's done stuff for Vampirella. He's done stuff for some major comic book companies, but now he does mostly his own stuff in consignment. But he's the executive producer. It's not consignment, commission. Sorry, commission.
Right.
So he's the executive producer.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been a huge influence. And when we decided to have the movie come out, we wanted to find a promotional kind of gimmick or niche for it. And he said, why don't I make a cover for like a comic book? But we couldn't, it would have been too much time to make comic books. So I said, well, I've got 2 short stories I never published. One of them would be the precursor to the film within a film of our movie. And then this one I was working on called Halloween, which is kind of a dark comedy. And he said, why don't you put those in there? I'll do the cover and we can make like a movie magazine. So we made the movie magazine, and this cover is the cover that Greg Bow designed. This is for our movie. It's called The Survivor Girl. Looks a lot like Amy.
Yeah.
So, and then the boar in the background is the so-called killer in the 80s movie they're filming, in the movie within a movie. And so inside it's got the short stories that I added, and then we've got some behind the scenes pictures. I think they're in the front, some behind the scenes pictures as well. But you can only get this cover from us, and we're going to have them exclusively at Mad Monster, and Greg was going to sign all of them. And then on top of that, he did a variant cover, which this is incredible. He's never done this cover ever. He's done this design for commission, but never done this cover. It's the bride from, what is that ride? Haunted Mansion at Disney World. He's a huge fan of that. So this is the bride from that. And so this is exclusive to our movie magazine, which is really cool. So we've got 2 exclusive covers for this movie magazine that we're going to be selling at Mad Monster. And the cool thing is you'll actually have the 2 short stories, the Halloween story, and you'll get to hear the short story of the movie within the movie of the boar. So
now Mad Monster is going to be August 22nd.
To the 24th, yep,
Through
in
the
Charlotte,
24th,
yep, and
okay.
well, actually Concord at the Embassy Suites. And we have Santiago and Amber going to be there. We'll have Rob there, and Rob on Saturday will actually be dressed as our
villain.
killer. Yep, our
Right.
killer. You'll be there as well. I think
Right.
you'll be
I'll be there.
tipping
I'll
in.
be dressed as Detective Carpenter.
And Jenna's coming as well because she's got a film in the film festival on top of that. So yeah, we've got Amy. Amy's going to be there. Amy Cote, one of our final girls. So I'm really excited about that. Really, really
Well, I
excited.
noticed on the back you've got
Oh yeah.
something from Lake.
Yeah.
Erie
So
Heights.
I've said this a million times now, and you've heard me say it probably ad nauseum, but if it wasn't for Lake Hickory Haunts, we would have never made this film because the set cost would have been millions. I'm not lying, millions of dollars.
Oh, I know. We were there.
Yeah. So, and a lot of the sets that we shot on aren't there anymore because they've either revamped them or moved them or removed them. So Lake Hickory Haunts, Ryan Settlemeyer and his team did an amazing job. They housed us for, I think, probably 3/4 of the film, at least. And it's lakehickoryhaunts.com. It's the premier haunt on the East Coast. I think it's probably the best haunt I've ever been to. It's just phenomenal. The set design, the monsters, the interaction, the performers, the way Ryan runs it. They've got that the intro you get, the little mezzanine you're on before you get there with the games and the concessions, and it's a big party.
Okay.
And you get to interact. So yeah, if it wasn't for Ryan and his team, we would not be able, to make this happen. So it was really
That's
cool.
awesome. And I tell you, that's a blessing when you get, a facility like that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can film at.
Absolutely.
So, but we're going to take a quick break. Just a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Seeing you in the afterlife.
Love me, hate me, mad cause he rate me. Try to slow me down, leave you pushing up daisies. Ops trying to phase me, switch it up daily. Trying to box me in, I'm about to go crazy. If you're looking for trouble, welcome to the jungle. If you're looking for trouble, Sly don't sleep. I'm about to flip the switch. It ain't over till I say it is. Till I'm lying in the dirt. Till the last bombs burst. Yeah, the hammer's gonna hurt. It ain't over till I say it is. Line 'em up, let it rip. Let it go till it clicks. No one never say quit. It ain't over till I say it is. Competition is zero. I'm the big hero. Superman status on the chest by a kilo.
Hey, we're back. That was just a word from our sponsor. And Ron, you and I were talking a little bit during the break about some more of the stuff on the film. So what do you think? What do you think the outcome's going to be? You really think it's going to be embraced by the horror community?
Well, with the fact that studio films are failing so miserably, and you've got these massive budget films that aren't even coming close to making their budgets, and with A24, who's a phenomenal studio, but a lot of their films are slow moving and so forth, or they're lower budget, so they can't do as much. I think we're gonna do well. I think we're do well. It's I think a genuine story. It's one of the few horror stories actually I think develops the characters.
Oh yeah.
Our goal was to make you hurt if something happened to these characters. Like if injury or death befell them, you're like, damn. You know, and you didn't know which one was going to survive, which one, but you really felt a genuine connection. So we had this cool campfire scene at the beginning. That scene we shot all in one day.
Oh yeah,
much against my.
I remember. I got some good BTS of that day.
Freezing, but yeah, we shot that, and basically it's this scene where they're just talking, having conversations, and you're getting to know them because I didn't want to overlay it with exposition. I wanted to have more of the dialogue aspect where they're just kind of talking and having these natural conversations. I wanted them to feel like people you would run into, you'd have a beer with, you'd see walking on the street, you'd meet in a library, whatever it may be. And I think we accomplished it. And I don't think we stereotyped anybody, which I loved. We didn't really have there's final girls in it, but also we wanted to make sure that what I hate about horror films is people make stupid mistakes. I love that commercial where it's the group of people and it's the chainsaw guy. Should we go in the car or the shed with all the chainsaws? Right. And it's like people make bad decisions. So I didn't want to do that, but I also wanted to have the range of people, the fight or flight, situation where how do people actually react? Right. And so we had a good gambit of different reactions from complete and utter breakdown, like Jenna's character, to like the emboldened behavior of like Santiago's character, to the trying to outtink the killer and end up not outthinking the killer kind of mentality. But if you're in that, I want to say, what happens if really you were in that situation? How would you perform? How would you act?
What would you do?
Exactly. And the fact that whether we don't know if the killer's supernatural or not, he just appears to be everywhere. And so, how do you escape that? And the idea is his weapon, he doesn't have any particular weapon he carries. He uses different weapons. We did it on purpose. Mm-hmm. But his weapon is that hopelessness. He wants you to be completely hopeless. He wants to steer away all your hope so that when he kills you, he's literally drains you of any chance you thought you could survive, or at that moment you think you could survive, and he's able to extinguish that light. So that's what I like about the way we kind of handled that.
Really grabbed you.
Yeah. So I think we'll do all right.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. In all honesty, I've been watching a lot of movies lately, and I've been in some pretty big budget films that have just released, and wasn't nearly impressed with what Hollywood's kicking out nowadays.
No.
And it was like, well, okay, it
Yeah.
was all right. It wasn't that. And not to toot my own horn, but I think I did pretty good, in
this film?
a few scenes that
Oh, you did phenomenal. No, that's why. I mean, you had stepped in with Strohs and done the narration for me, which I deeply appreciated.
That was fun.
And then with Rescue, you had a non-speaking part, but it was a very powerful because we were dealing with presence, which you pulled off, which is very hard for actors to do anymore. Is just emote and presence, and I knew you'd be perfect for this part. So I was very glad when you auditioned for it and went out for it and said, I want to be this part. So.
Yeah, it was fun.
So
I get typecast a lot as a cop, sometimes a detective, and I don't know, it works.
Yeah, well, I wanted to give you more meat. I wanted.
Yeah.
You look like a cop, you look like military, but I didn't want to. I wanted you to have that meat of, you're this cop that kind of went out of his way to put people in jail and maybe didn't do everything ethically. Now he's realized that the chickens are coming home to roost, and he wants to save not so much his legacy, but kind of make up for those sins.
Redemption.
Yeah, redemption. So and he ended up burning a guy's career in the process and all that. So
yeah. It was fun to shoot. We started shooting, I guess it was in January.
Yes. No. January. Yeah.
End of January, and then we wrapped about middle of June.
Right.
So it was 6 months there. So, guys, if you could imagine extreme cold temperatures for like the
It was a hot summer too.
And then extremely hot.
Yeah.
So we got to enjoy that weather transition while we filmed this.
Yeah. Experience all the seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. It was awesome. It really was. But you got what is this, Blu-ray?
Yeah. So this is the Blu-ray. We're going to have a limited supply of these. We're going to start selling them at Charlotte Comic-Con and Mad Monster. This Blu-ray has the full-length feature. It's got the full-length feature with commentary from me and Rob. It's got our gag reel. It's got a behind-the-scenes photo album so they can see all the effects and all that. And then it's got the extended and cut scenes, which we had to, because we were at 217, which your sweet spot's 190, you know that. But we went about 217, so it was 2:30, I think, or 2:35, and I had to cut back. And we had to cut a really good scene, unfortunately, that Paul was in, which was phenomenal with you and Tom Gore, but it was kind of redundant to the film. So we had to cut that scene, but that's on here because it just was such a great scene.
It was a great
I
scene.
had to cut a lot of scenes that broke my heart. We had to cut a scene with William Frady, but in the end, I think it's a good, solid film. And this, I don't do director's cuts. This is the director's cut. We've got the extended scenes so you can see them, but this is the director's cut film. This is the film this is the film that I feel we did the right thing with. So
that's awesome.
But yep, so I'm excited about it.
So did you get that copy at Mad Monster
and at Charlotte Comic Con?
And the Charlotte.
That's Sunday. That's this Sunday.
This Sunday, and then next weekend.
And depending on the demand. If we sell out and we do really well and we have a lot of requests for it, I might end up putting them on the Facebook page for a while to sell off the Facebook page, just for maybe a couple of weeks or maybe a month, just so people who do want because a lot of people want physical media now because of what's happening with streaming. So, I want to have that availability, but I don't want to have so many out there that, it kind of reduces the collectability of it, because that's really what this is about, collectability. So,
well, the fewer that are made, the more valuable.
100%. But yeah, I'm really proud of the way it came out, and I'm really proud of just the work that everyone did on it. So, but yeah, so that's the Blu-ray.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. So what's your next project?
So once It gets some momentum going, that's when we'll start trying to do some crowdfunding, get some investors. But we've got 3 projects that are tentative. We've got a movie a short called Checkmate, which is about a grieving widower who plays death to try to save his wife, who's passing of cancer. Then we have Simp, which is a story about a serial killer, 2 dueling serial killers, basically. And then Dear Sarah, which is a post-apocalyptic film about how far one person would go for love. And that's a feature. Now, that one, it's going to cost about $50,000. So that's the one I'm going to focus on raising money for. The other 2 shorts probably cost about $5,000 or $6,000, which is typically a short, but we do a lot with a low budget. You know that. So I don't think this was 20, and I think it looks. In fact, our distributor said it looks like it's much more.
Yeah.
So much so he said, don't put the amount on IMDb. Just let people guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my goal. And in the interim, we're finishing up Stroh's. We have 3 more episodes to get Stroh's out. That'll be on Amazon Prime. And then we've got the podcast that we're doing called Toxic Tears, which is basically just a fun podcast where we rank different things in fandom. It's just kind of a back and forth with me and Rob.
Right.
So, but we'll have you on it, and I'll have some other guests on eventually. So
I'd like that. So,
yeah.
So let me ask you this: when did you get into filmmaking?
So I got into filmmaking in 2016 with Dusk, and that was with a phone. And we ended up filming 42 episodes of Dusk, 3 seasons. The first 2 seasons, we shot everything live. So it was one shot. We did that because we knew the production values weren't exactly what they needed to be, so we were trying to find some kind of novelty to get people to watch. And we found out that the replays did much better than the actual live episodes. And we were actually, when we had it on Facebook, believe it or not, we were getting 50, 60, 70,000 views, where we were getting maybe 1,200, 2,000 on YouTube, which was crazy. So the 3rd season we did it. We did post. We didn't do any live. But then that kind of ran out of steam. And then, of course, the first major feature film we did was Devil's Daughter, which you were in as well.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known you earlier because you'd been Batman, but unfortunately I didn't. But we did The Devil's Daughter, and then that kind of went from there. So 2016, that was the short answer. I gave you the long answer, but.
Yeah, no worries. Long answers are good. Yeah. Okay, well, and you've got several other films that you're looking at starting to shoot in the next, year or so?
Probably, yeah. If we can build, I'd like to start filming one of them in the winter, but if not, we'll start in January, February of 2026. Okay. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
Even if you need a camera guy.
Yeah.
I do that too.
Yes, we did that in this film. So
as far as your It goes, what else can we expect? You said Tubi on the 22nd.
To the 22nd, I'm not sure when it'll be on Fandango and Apple Plus, and then the other channels like Shudder and stuff like that. We'll find out as we go through. I think once it goes on Tubi, it also goes on Shudder. I think they're sharing. There's also a thing called Beam Film, but I don't know if it's going to be on that as well. So I'm waiting on a list from the distributor to know exactly what channel so we can start tracking it. But
awesome.
Yep. So
awesome. Well, this is big for all of us.
Yeah.
Yep. when it came out, or we went to the premiere and saw it,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, you know, it just really grabs you, brings
Thank
you in, scares the hell out of you.
Yeah, the Rob helped with the editing. Rob being a slasher, you know, loves slashers, like super fan. When it comes to Jason Friday the 13th, he was a huge help in building that suspense and getting the kills just right in the editing room. But you guys made it easy. It was probably one of the easiest thing I directed. You guys, very little direction. I gave you the scene and told you what I wanted, and you know there were a couple of them we did multiple takes just to get multiple angles.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I don't think we had any.
don't
We had
think
one scene that took exceptionally long, and that was it. That was the file room scene. Yeah,
I remember
that took because we were trying to push one of the actors to give a little bit more. But other than that, it went. I think maybe 7-8 takes. I'm not Stanley Kubrick. I don't like doing huge amount of takes to get them. I know some directors do that to get what they want.
Right.
But for me, sometimes the first take, because that's where it's all coming natural, is the better, right? The more takes you do, sometimes the more it sounds rehearsed. So it's a balancing act. You just got to be careful because I don't think you can broad stroke it. I don't think you can say I'm a Stanley Kubrick, I do 45 takes, or I'm a Lloyd Kaufman, I do one take, or Roger Corman, one take. We don't do a second take. I think you have to find the middle ground between that, and it depends on your actors. It depends on the scene. It depends on how things work out. You know, some stunts we had to do one take. We had no choice. So I think the one with D'Erica that we did, we had to do a one take when we did that scene. So
a couple of the death scenes.
Yeah, the one with William Frady. Was another one when we did his stunt scene.
Yeah.
We actually reshot. That's the only reshoot we did because we felt like we didn't get what we wanted out of the first time.
Well, we can't really talk about it, but the stunt scene with the villain.
Yes,
that was a one take.
Yeah, that was a one take, and
I wasn't going to do that again.
No, that was the killer was played by Rob 98% of the time. There's one specific scene where Paul put on the outfit, and thankfully they kind of saved the day for us because Rob had gotten sick that day. And then another actor did the crossbow scene, firing the crossbows. So that wasn't Rob as well. So I think that's it, right? That was only two. But you also did the legs. You did legs for an actor.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. I can't say, but I died a few times.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was, So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Well, I know I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was well worth all the time, effort, you know, everything that we put into it. Because a lot of people don't realize how much you've got into a film.
No.
But when you just wholeheartedly tackle it like we did, you know, I working 5 days a week and then filming every day, every weekend.
Yeah, all day.
All day.
Yeah, all day.
Like 12, 14 hours a day.
The campfire scene was like 15, 16 hours in one day. So
yeah, but that's, you know, that's gridiron.
Yeah.
That's Iron Man filming, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
You know,
Hopefully we won't be doing that again.
I think I aged like 3 extra years last year.
It was, and the thing is, you know, you're right. The reason why it didn't feel as arduous is because the cast got along so well. Everyone was on board. We didn't have any prima donnas. We didn't have anybody giving drama. It was just a nice, clean, easy shoot. Everyone was there to give their best performance. The fact that Santiago and Amber, they had bit roles, and they wanted to elaborate or make their roles larger. And I was so grateful for that. So both Amber's role and Santiago's role got much bigger than what they were supposed to do. And in fact, Amber's role, Amber was supposed to play one character and ended up playing Kristen instead, which I was so glad.
Okay.
And then, of course, Santiago was always Philip, but his part got a little bigger too. So it was, and they both delivered A games. I mean, you know, you guys. So everyone did. You did. Rob did. Rob did miss a line, as he likes to brag. All the actors did, and I made the comment. We did. You saw the video I did with the Blu-ray. We had a couple actors fall off. That happens. Even them, I'm grateful for because they gave such an amazing performance, and they contribute so much to the film and gave heart and soul to the film. Right. So I really enjoyed. There's a scene at the very beginning of the film when you walk into this murder, the scene of the murder, and you look at the tapestry that's left up there that's got the clue on it, And it's just again, this is what I'm talking about, the present emo. There was such a great emoting. It's one line.
Yeah.
It's, oh my God. And yet you just sold it so beautifully. And it looked great. It just looked like a great scene. And so there's a scene where one of the other actors makes a comment. The corner says, I guess he failed the spelling bee or didn't make the spelling bee. And the way you look at that actress and just kind of give her the eat shit look. And it was perfect. And that's what as a director, when you have people who are bringing their A game, that's what makes it, because directors shouldn't be managing. A director should be encouraging, mentoring, and then pushing
maybe a
to
little
get the best.
coaching, but not much.
Yeah, but pushing their actors to just be their best and making them feel comfortable enough to own the character. They got to follow the script, but they got to own the character, and they got to feel comfortable in what they're saying. If the words aren't comfortable in their mouth, it's just going to sound like gobbledygook.
Like if you just freaking read it.
Exactly.
Monotone.
And we're seeing that in
energy.
I just saw a film, Death of the Unicorn, and it's got Paul Rudd and it's got Jennifer Ortega, and I'm like, this is you talk about a great cast, and it was just so dry, and I'm like, how the hell do
Why
these
did
two...
I just waste that
Yeah,
time?
but I mean, I don't care about, even the special effects aren't great, or even some of the kills aren't great. The kills are actually pretty cool, but it's the delivery. And when you've got people like Paul Rudd, who is known for that like organic sense of humor, and he's dry, that's problematic, So in our cast, we've got different varying levels of talent, right? We do. Some people are used to being on screen. Some people aren't. Some people in theater. Even the people that may not be up to the par of a Hollywood actor gave 110%, and you feel that. Yeah. And I feel that almost makes it feel more organic because it feels like that's a real person. Mm-hmm. So, but I was very happy with everybody. I don't think I have a single complaint about any performance. We had one shot I wish we would reshoot. We talked about that, where there was a reaction to something going on, and I wish I would have pushed the actor a little bit more to get some more. But still, it worked out because the actress in it sold the whole scene. So I don't think anybody cared at that point.
They weren't paying attention to the other one.
She just went nuts with it, and it was like, okay, well, we got it. So.
Well, enough suspense. Let's go ahead and roll that trailer and let's check it out. Hey, and we're back. Man, every time I see that trailer, it's like...
It's awesome. Yeah. James Hurley, the trailer king, made that. James made
Hurley,
that trailer.
James has been on the show.
Yeah, James made that trailer. He made the 17-second trailer. He's done a ton of promo stuff for me. He's done reels for you guys. Yeah. He's that is his absolute talent.
He's definitely gifted.
Yeah, and he's done editing for me as well. But I think his forte is definitely, because he knows how to put it together to make it stunning without giving too much away, which trailers have a bad habit of doing now.
They do.
I hate watching trailers now because you get the whole movie. So, but
or at least the good parts of it.
Yep. So
the rest of it's just filler.
Yeah, that's right. Like, okay, well, that's.
So what was your favorite scene in the film?
So I have a lot. I brought a clip of one of our favorite scenes, which we filmed toward the end. Okay. Which was the scene where we transitioned from the past to the present. And what's funny is when we rented that cabin in the modern day, Mackenzie Payne helped us with that. I never thought that it would look like the old cabin and like they renovated it. It was and we did that on accident. The transition was so great.
Yeah, it was.
So we had that Evil Dead cabin, and then we did the other one. So, but what I love about that one shot with you walking up is that was all drone. So Clarence Adams, our other drone pilot, we had Rocky Bates and Clarence. Clarence shot that whole thing with the drone, and then actually went inside and circled around. So when you were walking around, we got that all in that one shot.
I remember because I'm walking, I'm hearing this. Psst,
yeah, it looked great, and we just play. Yeah,
Aldo, hit me in the head with a drone, please.
And then we set up for the stick shots, and it was just absolutely fantastic. And that was the scene where we established you as your character. We established that the killer is back. We established how his MO. Yeah. And then we kind of get this. I felt like it looked legit. That
was my oh shit moment.
Yeah.
For my character.
Yep. And Rob Cochran, who we had Rob, we had you, we had Clarence, we had military, tactical, and police experts. So Rob helped me design that so it would look like a legitimate crime scene. So you had a real cop giving us that, and that's the one where we couldn't get blood on the floor. So Jesse Rivera, our FX guy, he taught me how to make gel blood that we could put down and pick back up and it wouldn't leave a stain. And then we did that with that. So that looked great. But
Reminded me of a big fruit roll-up. That was
yeah, like we just rolled it out, but yeah, it looked great. So it worked out. But again, in that scene, what I love about it, I would put that scene up against any cop show, SVU, the way you handled finding the girl and then talking to the coroner and then realizing what was going on. It was perfect. It was pitch perfect.
It was a beautiful scene.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
it's really enjoyable to watch. And then we had Nick Cage.
Right down to the lighting. I mean, everything to it is
It
just
worked.
so
It just worked. And we don't,
clicks.
the one thing I hate, we don't have the tents and the tarps that people use. I don't know what the technical term is to kind of block sunlight and reflect sunlight. We're not there yet. Hopefully we will be soon. But so I'm always careful of that light because it can sometimes really wash out. But I feel like our film is not flat. I feel like it's got a lot of shadows, a lot of color, a lot of really good deep tones to it. And that scene has it. But a couple of funny things. Nick Calo, who played the canine cop with your puppy.
Yeah, with Eli.
Eli, yep. That was one of two dogs because we had the other one in Boo,
Yeah,
which
my
was
boxer who's now no longer with
but
us.
she had it. We actually added extra footage of her just so that we could honor her. So, but and she was great. She was not in any direction.
Drool.
Yeah. But Nick is a moonshiner.
Yeah.
So he played a canine cop.
The moonshiner played a cop.
Sai did both our dispatcher, and she was a cop in that. She's walked by. And then Daituan, who meets you at the door when you guys are talking. I still have that notebook. You should see all the stuff he wrote in that notebook. That's just insane. But then Cassandra was in that as well. She played Stevens, I think is her character's name.
Stevens.
And then Chuck Sloan's daughter plays the assistant coroner who comes down the steps, and then Marty played the coroner, and so it just worked. I mean, it looks so good, and Clarence is such a great cinematographer. He had such a great eye in making sure that drone hit everything perfectly. So I love that scene. But my favorite scene would probably be the scene where you were talking about, the stunt scene.
Okay.
With you, just because how good it came out.
Which
because
stunt?
we were the one-time stunt.
Oh yeah.
It came out so good. It came out so good.
So
I really, and I also did like the dollhouse scene
Yeah.
where that was freaky.
Mm-hmm.
And when we added all the extra effects and stuff, it worked out great. But yeah, I do the first scene of the movie because it meshes so well with the flashback and it connects so well. And I accidentally with those two cabins, I'm just like, just cinematography wise and direction wise and flow wise, I'm like,
Freaking
yeah,
worked.
oh, it looked great. It looked great. So I hope people think so too. We think so.
I know they
Yeah,
will.
they have to
I've
pay
seen the film, but
Yeah.
So as far as that goes,
Mhm.
you're looking at tackling your next film, say in about a year.
Yeah, so if we get them, Dear Sarah, I came up with in less than a day, and I've already got the outline written. It'll probably take me a month to write the script. I don't know why it has such a desire to write it or to make it, but I want to make it. And I've got the location. You're going to be in it. Of course, we talked about that. We've got Jenna going to be in it. We'll be casting, Clam's going to be in it. I just cast another girl who's going to play a singer in this kind of like gypsy bar. So if I can get the money, that's what I want to film. Like that's the next film. Because I don't want, I know a lot of filmmakers just quantity, and I get that. I respect that. But I want to make
Quality.
Yeah,
quality,
me.
quality.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me with my writing.
You can pump out 10 films in there. I'll be trash.
I can write a book in a year, and
But that's what you're going to be known for.
Yeah, I like taking my time because I want the movie to be as good as I can make it with the resources that we have. And I think it's training for me that if it ever does happen where a larger studio comes to me, I could say, hey, listen, you give me this budget, I can make this, look what I can do.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of train myself to be that kind of director and that kind of movie maker. So
That's awesome.
see.
Well, guys, we're going to roll this clip real quick. You check out Ron's favorite part in the movie.
One of them, yes.
Yeah, one of them. And then we'll be right back. going, Liz?
This is an ugly one.
How many bodies?
Family of 5. Mother, father, 3 children, various ages. Brutally tortured of murder.
Where were the bodies found?
2 down here, 3 are upstairs. Looks like it's some kind of game.
Count to 50, then I hunt. If I find you, you die. You're it.
Guess he didn't win the spelling bee.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about the lighting in that cabin? That was a great shot.
It was a cool shot. It just, and coloring, everything about it, just the music worked. It just looked great. It looked great. And, you know, when you're doing flashbacks and transitions to present time, you always have to be very careful because they're kind of cliched. But I really feel good about that one. I think it worked out really well. And the music leading into that, which was from Artlist, was phenomenal. I love that kind of, it almost reminded me of The Mist. It's like, that kind of operatic sound. It was fantastic. So
That's great.
Yep.
Well, guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, check out You're It. You said Amazon right now.
Amazon Prime Video. Yep. Awesome.
Come by and see us at the Mad Monster on August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Yes.
And get your free copy. I'm kidding. It's not free.
Yeah, no.
I even got to pay for it.
It's
but come by and get you a copy. It's almost free. It's so cheap.
It's $20 for
$20.
Not bad.
And definitely worth it.
Yep.
So come by, check us out. We'll be glad to get a little selfie with you or whatever. And we'll have a whole display there at Mad Monster.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
But Ron, again, thank you so much.
Anytime,
for coming on the
my
show.
friend. Anytime.
Appreciate it. Look forward to working on the next project.
Absolutely.
All right. Guys, y'all take care. Have a great week. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll catch you then.